Gloucestershire's Gareth Roderick struck his second 100 in 2 games to deny Essex a much-needed win on the final day of their LV County Championship match in Bristol, a match which ended in a draw. Essex had set the home side a target of 432 on the previous day, and they'd been unable to pick up a wicket in the 7 overs they bowled before bad light ended the day a little early. Chris Dent perhaps suggested that his side hadn't given up thoughts of winning as he struck a very early 6. It took Essex only half an hour for their first success. Dent on 27 trapped in front by Rhys Topley as the batsman chose the wrong ball to leave alone. James Foster let Greg Smith have a bowl to see if he could turn his wonderful hand in this match with the bat to something special with the ball. He couldn't. Roderick had come to the crease at the fall of Dent's wicket, and just as in the draw with Kent last week, he produced the innings which frustrated the side which was searching for wickets for a victory. At Canterbury, he made 152 not out before the last day was lost to the weather, and he was soon showing his skills with the bat here as well. What a find he's been for the county this season. The South African-born keeper, who made a name for himself with some record-breaking performances in club cricket in Gloucestershire last year, has thoroughly enjoyed his first season in the county game, and this 4 took him to a 50 off 76 balls, that being his 7th 4. Michael Klinger was not far behind as Essex struggled to find a way through. The Australian has had a fantastic impact since joining the Gloucesters as their captain. His latest 50 arrived off his 147th delivery, from which he'd struck only 3 4s and 1 6. Although let's not forget, realistically he was trying to save this game for his team, certainly at this stage. Klinger has scored more runs than anyone else in all forms of the game this summer, and this nicely timed boundary carried him past 1,000 runs in the LV County Championship this year. It took a peach of a ball from Monty Panesar to get rid of him on this occasion, the ball spinning sharply to bowl the Gloucestershire captain for 62. But Essex had to wait for 42 overs for that second wicket. They should have had a third moments later, but Roderick, on 79 at the time, had some luck as Tymal Mills had overstepped, something the bowler could hardly countenance. Instead, Panesar struck for a second time in 3 overs, although Alex Gidman probably won't want to see this too many times again. That put the home side on 196 for 3, 20 minutes before tea. Roderick kept going, both sides of the break, as he again showed his worth. It's amazing to think now that he wasn't the first choice keeper at the start of the summer. Injury got him into the side, and he's hardly ever looked back since. He's now in his very best form of the year, and he was rather ruining Essex's day. The 22-year-old, who celebrated his birthday on the first day of this match, especially enjoyed hitting Mills through the offside, and his 14th 4 took him to an exceptional 100, his first in Bristol and his second in just over a week. He'd used up 157 balls for this one, hardly a back-to-the-wall effort. Indeed, with 200 wanted off 35 overs, perhaps Gloucestershire hadn't given up their hopes of winning this game. That seems unlikely, but Hamish Marshall was able to score freely off Smith, with a number of 4s being hit off the off-spinner when he was reintroduced into the attack. Foster tried to get some overs in before the second new ball was due. That was going to be his last chance to get this all-important game won. With Northamptonshire winning by an innings with a day to spare, Essex knew that they would be left with a lot to do to earn promotion if they were not able to finish off this game. Roderick was not giving them a sniff though, as he and Marshall added 108 in 20 overs. But then the second new cherry started to do its work. Marshall got a leading edge off Topley to offer Gautam Gambhir a catch at mid-off on 42. Then Roderick was finally dismissed on 136 with a nick behind off Graham Napier. A third wicket fell in the space of 20 balls when Benny Howell was also out to Topley, and so now Essex had 20 overs left to get the last 4 wickets. They threw everything at it, of course, but Will Gidman and Tom Smith held firm. Foster called on his spinners late in the day to try to get the job done. He surrounded the bat with fielders, but Smith was up to the pressure and was even able to hit a few boundaries when the bowlers dropped in too short. After 65 minutes together, Smith and Gidman walked off with a draw earned. By the close, Gloucestershire had made 355 for 6, and that meant that Essex had to make do with 11 points for a game they bossed for the most part. That now leaves them 44 points behind second place Northamptonshire, but with a game in hand. 3 wins from their last 4 matches is the very least they now need if they're going to end up in the top 2.